Well, good evening to every one of you who's tuning in or who has tuned in into Ubuntu channel, and thank you so much for finding time to join us for this week's edition of Let's Talk Politics on Ubuntu channel. Now, we first want to apologize for having not been with you for quite some time. This has been due to quite a number of challenges beyond our control. However, the program is back this week, and we have an exciting program that we have lined up ahead of us. And this week, we are actually looking at um, tribalism in politics. That's tribal divisions in politics in the country right now. And I have the usual Womkelabai joining us this week. And Womkelabai, good evening, and thank you so much for finding time to be with us.
Good evening, Rollins. It's nice to be back after a while, and I hope we'll continue from here onwards. But otherwise, it's good to see you, even though I can't see you. I can just hear you.
Yeah, apologies for the lack of picture today. This is due to Zesto load shedding. We are in blackout as things stand. But the program has to go on, and we are urging everybody of you who is watching this stream to just engage us, get interactive, and let's talk. Let's have a conversation with you as well. The link for this broadcast will be shared in the comment section, and you can also drop your comments in the comment section on whatever social media platform that you are watching us from, and we'll be able to get interactive with you and also hear your opinions and views on the subject matter. And now let's get into it. Tom Kelabai. We start with the headlines that we saw going into Saturday morning when we woke up to news that the honorable member of parliament for Petauke Central, that is Mr. JJ Banda, had been kidnapped, his vehicle being found on the street, and uh, with a note saying, uh, like apologizing to Zambians that he has let them down. And it became an apparent issue of kidnapping, and everybody was now concerned. Kelabai, how did you receive that news? I think let's start from there.
Yeah, for starters, it was a sad development that a member of parliament would be uh, moving at awkward hours and without any proper security. We know that we've taken advantage of this peace and tranquility that we are experiencing in the country. However, there are still other people, those who still have ill intention to harm either you, the public figures, or do something that will make you, the public figures, regret your mistakes. So I think it was sad that this happened, and I hope that our public figures, because when we talk of public figures, that we are talking about you government officials, those who are serving in the civil service, those who are in politics. Because when you talk about politics, every person that is involved in politics is a public figure. And there are those with high positions, people such as members of parliament that are elected. There are people that are elected, that liked or wanted that uh, member of parliament, and there are people that did not vote for that or rejected. They didn't want anything to do with that person, and therefore there are those that are still hurting right now who will do or want to cause any harm to their to the person they don't like. And we are 20 million plus a population. And then when you stand out alone as a politician or as a public figure, and you want to garavant the street without any security whatsoever, your life may be in danger. These are things that we always undermine or underrate. We think because we are in a peaceful and a Christian nation, then we can simply do whatever we want. No, especially when we know that we are coming from an era where there was so much chaos and many people are either happy and others are not happy that they lost their positions, they were out of power. So there's a lot that that a person that is involved in politics should always keep in mind that you your life could be in danger at any given time. You may hurt people. Just any comment that you say, anything that you may say, others can construe it differently and may find it, and then come and harm you. So you have to be very vigilant. Mind the way you move at night, mind the way you you interact, and mind the way you say things. Be careful with what you say or be careful with what you do, because those things may come back and haunt you. It may be not today, it may come when you least expect it. So it is very, very imperative that when you are a public figure or involved in politics, you need to safeguard yourself. That's my take. And it was very sad development, by the way. Nobody would wish a member, their brother being taken, even though we are not yet sure. I hear people talking of kidnapping, abduction. We have no clue. We are just speculating. We are
Okay,
so
we'll come to
happy.
that one, Kelabai. Let me just bring in Mr. Wiseman here. Good evening, first and foremost, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, comrade. How are you? And good evening to our viewers.
I'm brilliant, and thank you so much for finding time to be with us this evening.
Always good, comrade.
Okay, we're still on the same subject. For me, I think I started seeing I mean, I started seeing this news about the kidnapping in the early hours of Saturday, and uh, what was strange was that the people who seemed to have much of the information about his disappearance were PF affiliated pages and all that. And as as the day went by, it started becoming apparent that the whole PF slash UKA and opposition were pointing their fingers at government for as being the suspects in wrongdoing in this disappearance per se, and it now became evident it's not an issue of just a mere disappearance, but it was a political battle. Looking at it, how fair was it that we started playing politics on someone's life?
Okay. Thank you. I think first of all, comrade, my reaction about the news when we have that breaking news of such, I think it is something which was overreacted. The reaction which received it never deserved even that reaction, because we have incidents where we have lost our relatives. You cannot miss someone for 3 hours, and you even make a funeral in your own car, go live on page, and start crying. It was something which takes overreaction. Honestly speaking, what we normally see on our small family level, when someone is lost, we make initiatives as a family, friends, to try to look where we can find. We don't make conclusions there and then. But this matter, we were told 03. A woman with a house, knew about the information 04. Before even the police knew, they concluded that it was an abduction and the finger were going to UPND. Sad enough, their fellow member of parliament, someone who's too close to the person, he went live and started crying. What are you crying? In the same short period of time, press briefing. This tribe was done this and that as abducted our people. You can imagine the whole drama. The same 03 where one went, the same 03, that's where you have found the same person who went at 03. So it received a lot of overreaction. If you saw the drama which was happening at the hospital, you could see that this was scriptured. It was not something which was just happening from the bruise. No, even the police, they have got a lot of things, a lot of job to do to make sure that they can manage. And how I play, the police should make sure that they bring all the culprits on book, everyone who were the mastermind of what was happening. Because even if I were to come to UK, found Mr. Mkereba's vehicle is parked at a castle and the door is open, the vehicle is on idling, how can I suspect that he has been abducted? Just there and then, how possible is that? You need to get a microscope for you to see some bruises. And then people were reporting before we saw the picture that someone has been badly beaten. We can even stop eating meat if you look at the bruise. But when the pictures came, you need to wear a microscope from overseas to see the bruises. Who does that? So I think that news for me, comrade, there is nothing to massage there. There is totally nothing. We have seen people beaten. Ask Ibom Kerebai during the time of campaign. We used to see blood, comrade, blood, where even if you are taking someone to the hospital, even the doctors will say, this is beyond. Not that one. That one is a joke. For me, let us stop wasting time for things not here and there. We have got some serious issues to handle as a country. So that day was just spent without a productive thing coming out of our country. We need to be serious. Thank you, comrade.
Okay, now let's delve into probably some of the reasons why the government was the UPND. Let me put it that way, was the major culprit or the major suspect, I should say. Apologies for that. Let's go into why the UPND was the major suspect in this scenario, and let's do that by taking a good look at the clip that we are going to play next, and then we'll meet on the other side. Keep watching and let's get interactive.
It's really, we are learning with shock that a former president in the name of Edgar Chagwa, who terribly failed to manage the order and the welfare of this country, is busy manipulating himself to have issues of thinking he can come back to this country. Zambians are not docile. Zambians will never be taken back to areas where they cannot access freedom in the market. Zambians will not be taken back to an opportunity whereby even just boarding a bus wearing any party t-shirt was a crime. Zambians will not be taken back where meal allowances at the University of Zambia was scrapped off. Zambians will not be taken back where even just shaking a hand with someone who belongs to another political party, it was a crime. Lungu must watch his steps. Yes. He must watch his steps. I think Lusaka province and other provinces, you've tolerated that idiot for so long. Bring that man to Northwestern where we practice circumcision so that we take him into circumcision. We take him into circumcision. We are not here docile. People, the civil servants, we are not working. Because under the civil service there was a serious division. Ethnicity was the code of the day. Promotion was just wanted on because you belong to a certain political party on ethnicity. Is that what Lungu thinks he can take us back to? We will circumcise him. Yes. We are appealing to government. If there is opportunity for Lungu to come to Northwestern, please do it quick. Yes. Bring him here. Yeah. Bring him here so that we teach him a lesson. Yes. And you remember the time his mother cried when giving birth to him. Yes. We cannot be doing things like cry babies in a country. Who is Lungu? Who does he think he is? Does he want Zambia? Does he want Zambia? Please, we ask Mr. Lungu to consider himself as a statesman or face proper circumcision that he has never witnessed before. He will see us. And to the youths in Lusaka, we are appealing to you colleagues. Yes. Wake up. Wake up. If you don't have money power there, tell us, we come. Yes. As a province, we are very much ready to coordinate and bring the youths there in Lusaka. So that we teach that third lesson. You cannot belong to a party of a behavior and is busy calling himself as a serpent. You can be a serpent, but there are egos in this country. We are able to grab you off from the ground and take you in the high sky. We fight from there. Lungu, wherever you are as you are watching this is Kokera Moses. I understand very well where you want to go. If you want to die from the hands of President Hakainde Hichilema, please spare Hakainde Hichilema not to kill you. Allow us to kill you. Allow us to kill you so that we slaughter you. Thank you so much, Chair.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for keeping up with us, and we are back on the other side, just like we promised. Now, we were just watching a clip from UPND, some UPND youths who have made such kinds of threats, and we seem to be going down that lane of politics of threats and violence and all that, and probably it's something that we need to take a good look at. Bomkelabai, first and foremost, I would just first ask you to give a general reaction to that.
Well, for starters, I do not condone anybody that disrespect any elderly person, and use such kind of profanities or terrible language. That's not acceptable. No matter how bad and terrible Lungu was, we are not supposed to call him or abuse him in that manner. Former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu has his own shortcomings. Yes, he's done a lot of good things and a lot of bad stuff. But does he need to be disrespected in that manner? Are we supposed to treat him in that manner? Is this the way we should treat our elderly people when they err? Do we address them and publicly and use derogatory language that is not suitable, for even children to hear? So I feel that the youth there, he was emotional. He knows where this is coming from, and he called out Edgar Chagwa Lungu as the former president who chose to come back into politics and treat him as such. But the language that was used, I do not support that. I do not support that as a UPND sympathizer. as the person that fought and that worked hard and to bring down the work of Edgar Changwa and the rest of his team. I, for one, do not align myself to such kind of a language. For that was too much, and the gentleman should be cautioned. And for such language, it may trigger
Okay, now,
more.
maybe I should ask this question. Um, is it illegal that the former president has decided to go back into politics? Because I think we have seen quite a lot of statements being made by the ruling party that seem to maybe express some sort of displeasure that he has decided to join politics again. And it's being made to sound like it's a crime, like he committed a very big offense by doing that. Is it not within his legal rights?
Well, he's a Zambian, even though that was a little bit questionable when he started, because other people think he's from Rwanda, but that's just politics. He's a Zambian, born and raised, and he is as entire. He has he enjoys all the benefits of being a Zambian, to belong to any political party of his choice, and to join politics and to do anything he wants for as long as they're within the law. He is entitled to do what he wants, and he has not broken any law by deciding to come back to politics. It is his prerogative. So nobody should put him to task for the decision that he made to come back into politics. However, the reason why UPND is a little bit surprised and uncomfortable because of what this man put them through when they were in power, when he was in power. And they can't believe to see the person that brought all these atrocities, all the cadreism and the mismanagement of resources. You were not young, you were already old. You saw how fire tenders were being purchased. You saw how planes were being purchased. The presidency and the country money, the taxpayers' money was being used as though it is the money that belongs to an individual or a group of individuals, not the whole country. So when people look back and see the things that this person is purported to have done, they really have a negative attitude towards him. This is the background. This is where this hate or this negativity is coming from. However, he has all the right. I think the best thing we should have done as a country, or as those people who are not happy with Edgar Changwa was to advocate for the removal of his immunity, so that Edgar Changwa could face those allegations. Because right now, we are just saying things because we see the wife is in court, the children, they have seized all these properties, but nobody is mentioning the stripping off of his immunity. Nobody is talking about Edgar Changwa. There's no direct link that we can show that this president was really the one in charge and doing or giving out these monies. So
that makes him innocent as at now until proven guilty.
Absolutely. But the issue is that I know what these guys were trying to do. Is like when you're saving the nice things for last. That they're trying to first of all round off all these minions, and then lastly go and grab the head themselves. So to me, probably that's their approach, but I felt like that approach was wrong, in my opinion, They should have just gone in immediately. The moment he came out of office, it could have taken them maybe 3 months, not 2 years, 3 years. It could have taken them when people are still burning, when there was so much issue that they wanted to see him face prosecution, because there has been a lot of allegations leveled against him. And almost all his cabinet ministers, they are before the courts of law, answering for their mismanagement and corrupt activities, except for him. Why? Because he has the immunity. And nobody, not even the anti-corruption, has come up with any case, any tangible case against an individual called Edgar Chagwa Lungu. There's nothing. Whether, I don't know whether he outsmarted them, and that's why he was not directly involved in dishing out money. He was using probably third parts. Probably that's why they're having difficulties. Remember, this is a lawyer. He knew what he was doing. So he could have played them, and that's why today he's even daring them. Come get me if you think I stole. So we know it is evident, but what is important, what is needed is proper evidence that they can use to go to parliament and ask the parliamentarian to strip off his immunity. And they need 2/3 of the majority. So if they can't have that number, Edgar Chagwa Lungu will still continue enjoying his immunity. So
Okay, let me try and bring in Mr. Wiseman as well on this. Mr. Wiseman, you've heard what the kind of threats that these youths have actually leveled against that have sent to the former president, and they have even mentioned an issue of killing him. It has reached up to that stage, but we have not even heard the police summoning any of those. Is that strange?
Yeah, I think if you have seen the leadership of Hakainde Hichilema, is someone who has been always, ever since he was ushered into office, is someone who has been always preaching about peace. And at no point I've ever heard Hakainde Hichilema and his followers, I mean those appointed leaders, have they told the youth to say go and do this to that leader, as we used to see previously. So such kind of sentiment coming from my fellow youths, it was something which was not coming very well, because our leader has never advised to be moving in that direction. Nevertheless, when you see in Zambia, comrade, we have got so many opposition leaders, and at no point have ever heard youths threatening Fred Membe. Because of what? The type of politics we have seen previously, comrade, the opposition which we saw between Mwanawasa and Sata, it was the opposition of ideas. As a result, it made Mwanawasa to have a very easy governing because of getting ideas from the opposition. The opposition which we saw between Michael Sata and Hakainde Hichilema, it was the opposition of ideas. It made President Michael Sata to have a very easy governing system because some of the ideas were coming from the opposition. The opposition which we saw between President Hakainde Hichilema and President Lungu, when President Lungu was in power, it was the opposition of ideas, where they were being advised how they should govern the country. That's why it was very easy for President Lungu to manage some of the things which he was managing. The opposition which we are seeing now, that Hakainde Hichilema is in power, with the opposition which President Lungu was brought in after he came back to active politics. It is the opposition of hatred, hate speeches, division, and try to come back to power, hook or crook. As a result, that type of politics now is provoking people. There are some people who are even calling President Hakainde Hichilema to be weak because they have seen that they have pushed him to the corner where he's not responding. Now the followers, they are feeling it, because if you see someone like Bomkeleba said, someone who was tormenting you, someone who was in power when your relatives were being killed, now is out of power. You were expecting that the law will visit the person and the group roughly to revenge to what they did to you. Then you have got a president who have got a big gut and says, no, let us forget about the past, we move forward. Then after being given that authority, he has started repeating what he was doing when he was in power, even when he's not in power. So he's now trying to resume the wounds which were slowly getting healed. As a result, now these are the threats you have started seeing now coming from the youths. So for me, it is the type of politics which Edgar Lungu was brought in, which is making this type of things. When they were in power, comrades, you saw where people were making boundaries of where we come from. Even when they are in opposition, the same politics has come back. That's what is in their DNA. That's what is in their blood. Even for the president to reach an extent of saying, I gave you 2 years, 8 months, thinking you are going to change, which means even him, he has seen that this is now over. It has been overdone. So it is about how they are conducting themselves. If they can conduct themselves as the way we have been seeing other opposition previously, including Hakainde Hichilema when he was in opposition, I can assure you we are going to have a very great country and a very great opposition with a great ruling government. Zambia is not the only country in Africa which has got opposition in the name of the former president. No.
Mr. Osman, sorry to cut you short, but are you trying to justify those words, the sentiments that are coming from the youth?
I'm not trying to justify, but comrade, in Bemba they say akashindangwa pampa minakara suma. Provocation which is coming from those people, it is bringing back the pain which we went through. So that provocation it is what is making. Look, before even Edgar Lungu came back into power, we had people like Fred Membe. Did you see at any point youths having a press briefing going to that level? The answer is no. Recently, what was supposed to happen, the way they planned that this country will be on fire so that Hakainde Hichilema can leave office or can go for an early election because of disappearing of someone and bringing division in the country.
We cannot make those conclusions because we do not have evidence to prove that. Probably they are your personal opinions and assumptions, and we can only leave them at that. Now, the bigger question here is simply, is this the Zambia that we want? Let me ask Bomkelaba to come in. Bomkelaba, is this the Zambia that we want?
No, I don't think so. Even you know, for you to ask that question, you know that this is not what we want. We don't want a Zambia that is full of moral decay. You know, the current leadership, they are on record fostering peace, advocating for peace and tranquility in the country, unity. And they are on record denouncing divisions, tribal remarks, and other illicit activities. They are on record. And that's why even people that are in the ruling party or in government who breaks the law, this president has demonstrated, or this leadership has demonstrated, that even those that break the law whilst serving as either ministers or whoever government, senior government officials, they are not spared out. The arm of the law will just always reach them. So, meaning this is the government that is observing the rule of law, and which is a thing that never used to happen. The thing that used to happen were threats and instilling fear in people, that if you do this, you will be dealt with. Not by law, not going to court, because that's a long process. It was instant justice. Either cadres will come and crowbar you. The cadres will come and open the office and kick you out or remove. We saw that. All of these Zambians are witness. And I don't see any reason, and I see them putting a blind eye and wanting to point at a finger to a person that is trying to foster peace and unity in this country. Here we are, we have seen our chiefs. They even have moved a step ahead to bring two tribes that we never even thought they would even do together. Today, chiefs are moving from one kingdom to the other kingdoms. That is the Zambia we want. But now here comes a politician such as Munia Zulu, Morini Kantongo, I don't know the other name, and the other gentleman who wants to divide the nation just because someone has been who has been suspected to have been kidnapped. We don't know yet whether they didn't even know. But if them, because they are the authors, like you said earlier in your preamble, that everything that was being done were coming from them, feeding the nation. We saw people even going on the air crying. How do you know? Somebody is not even dead yet. You have no clue what has happened. What if this gentleman just decided to give up? Maybe he had a quarrel with the wife and decided to just walk away. It's possible. Somebody can just go, he wants some peace to himself. Or he wants to act. We are simply speculating. We have no clue what happened. Only the individual who is not dead is alive. Let us hear his story. That's when we can now conclude. I told these guys who were busy ranting, when Tayali, when Honorable something, they were just all over the internet. Whoa, Ichongo, even President Lungu going to police. Hey, we want demanding to see who? Oh, they were acting on innuendos, on rumors. No, we are here to see where our brother, just because the vehicle was taken to that police station, they suspected that the boy or the honorable is kept somewhere incommunicado by the police. Accusation after accusation. Now the name of the president, the current president, started coming up. We could see members of parliament, honorables. I don't understand. Honorables, people that should use their brains, the people that make the law, coming together and start issuing such kind of statements, honestly speaking. Now, I said to myself, these guys, they will be surprised and they will be sorry because they have no idea what is happening. What if something happens? I even wrote someone on this. Say, what if this person comes back, is found, is alive, and is very healthy, maybe with few bruises? I said those things. And before, if I want, I could even claim myself a prophet. And before we knew it, we heard the same people claim that they found him. Where? In Kafue. How? Lusaka, Twin Palm, is it somewhere there to Kafue? How did you move to? Do you have any connection? What's his name? This Banda, does he have any connection to Kafue? Has he ever lived in Kafue? What's happening? Let us hear what the police and the investigating authorities are going to uncover. We want to dig and to get to know this because they held the whole nation at ransom. So we want them to now skip. Now you look at them, they are all quiet now, avoiding what they said, regretting about the things they uttered. That's what happens when you just open your mouth without thinking. They have just put themselves in trouble, including Womana Wakwe, our mother. She's a senior politician who should know better. I'm a little bit really sad about that woman. I respect Womana Wakwe as our first female finance minister in our country. I still hold respect for her. But the way she has reduced herself to that level, I don't understand. Making such insinuation, accusation, without any facts whatsoever.
Wamkelava,
And
maybe let's do this. Maybe let's have the clip playing in the background so that we can see what the honorables said, and then we can have the reaction afterwards. Keep it. Stay
okay.
tuned.
A president, HH, tuzivanwe muja ijivochita. There is no way Ungo, who was killed in Northwestern Province, and the people from Northwestern Province are in Lusaka, and the guy has disappeared. Mr. President, if at all we, the people of Eastern Province, have committed any crime against yourself, tell us what to do. If it needs us to give you keto to apologize, we shall do it. But not at the expense of playing with the life of JJ Banda. Mr. President, this is not a call on Jack Mwimbu. This is a call onto yourself and your office. You cannot be preaching peace when you go to Brussels and say instability anywhere in the world is instability everywhere, and yet you are doing something else. Mr. President, we've heard statements from your cadres declaring Southern Province a no-go zone area for some of us. If that's the case, we shall also declare Eastern Province a no-go area for your tribesmen and women. If you are going to go this route, Mr. President, let us do it. Let the Northerners be in the north, we Easterners will be in the east. You Southerners be in the south. We can no longer continue, Mr. President, to live in a country that has lived 60 years after independence. The worst of the patriotic front, we never witnessed a member of parliament being abducted. The worst of the patriotic front, we never saw a member of parliament's residence being bent down. You at your best, member of parliament has disappeared. At your best, at your methodical, a house has been bent down. And we know there is a list. Mr. President, in case you do not know, the people you give these instructions to have families and information is filtering. We know Binwewe is next, I am next, but get this very loud and clear. You can come for me, my children will come and revenge. You are planting a very bad seed. This country needed to heal, especially that we have celebrated 60 years as an independent state. but it seems it's a seed of vengeance that you are planning and planting, Mr. President. This is not a message. Let's not sugarcoat issues of saying Inspector General of Police, Jack Mwindu, Bruce Kanema. This is a call on the president. How many people do you want to go? If you want to kill us, Mr. President, we can come to community house and shoot us. Than tormenting our families, let our families know that we've been assassinated by the state. Let our families know that you've given instructions to wipe us out. The world has experienced genocide before. The world has experienced a Holocaust. Why can't we learn from the ugly side of history? Mr. President, please, Mr. President, if you want us to die, let it be so. But don't torment our families. Let our families know that we are dead or alive. Give us our JJ, whether dead or alive. If he's dead, we shall know where to bury him. Please give us our brother back. I thank you.
Well, it is interesting to see former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu roaming and walking the streets of the central business district of Lusaka in Cairo Road freely. This is how it should be. This is the freedom that we fought for and won from him and his thugs. Remember, when he was president, such an event today would have ended up in a blood-stained day. There would have been bloodshed today. Today, people would have been, maimed. People would have been hacked. People would have been stabbed. Phones stolen, vehicles, properties destroyed, shops stoned. It would have been a whole, melee of political mayhem and violence with the police unleashing tear gas smoke, the whole town would just have ended up chaotic. But here we are. He enjoyed his freedom of movement, freedom of association, freedom of expression, just to be able to demonstrate that in Zambia, citizens are able to enjoy their democratic and constitutional, rights. Remember that we have made strides under the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, and we thank God that in 2021, the people of Zambia came out in large numbers to vote for change, to vote for President HH.
Globally, 85% of infertility is because of infections, typically the chlamydia and the gonorrhea.
Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Since I've been mentioned, I can react to what comment Chinda just
Yes.
I haven't finished my point.
Remember,
No, let me finish my point so that my brother can.
Does the Patriotic Front know the kind of damage they have done to our economy and to our country? I do not.
The alleged abduction of Pamela Chisupa, and this case has really kept us on our toes.
Okay. Welcome back, Umkilaba and Wiseman. You can react to what we just saw. Let me give you this chance.
It's a very sad sight to see, and I think even I saw the face of those two honorables that were seated next to Munia Zulu. I think they were also just surprised, as I am as well. And just because he supports them or belongs to their party or as an independent, whatever, because that independent is just in inverted commas. He is PF, we know that. But Munia Zulu, this is not his first time to go on to the president in that manner. And they say, Wakare Matakareka. The young man is overzealous. The young man is clueless. He's just talking from without, and he loves that attention given when he is talking, and people that are of important in stature and nature, they look at him. When he sees those eyes, the attention, he becomes more boiled up. Unfortunately, he was just digging his own grave, And today, some of us, when he was issuing those statements, when we saw that video, immediately when we saw it, we just knew from the word go that this chap is going to go in. And I believe this time, I don't think they're going to forgive him, because he has had so many cases relating to the same. once you are a tribalist, and there is no doubt, there's no way about it, he will still remain a tribalist. No matter how much you may try to portray or change, you will still be a tribalist. It's just the same as a racist. That guy is a stinking racist. He has a xenophobic mindset. And these are chaps that we are not supposed to even call that man honorable. It's a sheer waste of a title. I don't even see why Mlumezi people could sink so low and chose to pick that young man. He's got nothing to offer but pomposity and vulgar language. And that is what is going to cost his career. He is just kissing goodbye to that will be his first and last term to be in parliament. I don't think Munia Zulu is ever coming back to politics or to parliament, because the Lumezi people also have seen how he is behaving. He has been behaving from the way they voted him in. He claimed to be representing them. The young man has a problem with this. I think it's because of his stature. People of that kind, many people do think. I think he grew up in a very rough society where probably was bullied a lot because of the way he is, and with that background, it's difficult for him to comprehend issues or to say things. If you listen to him when he's sober, when he is trying to be just a normal human being, the young man is very, very polite and is very, very intelligent. He's very smart. But something just triggers in him. It just goes back to show that he has some issues, big issues that is hidden. He has a lot of skeleton that we don't know about, but we can only tell from the language, the body language, the way he comes out. Because that has been his problem. Even when he was in, when he was busy campaigning for his whatever, we saw the manner in which he came out on issues. That chap has an issue and needs proper help, not sending him to jail. They are going to kill him in jail. If he goes to prison, he's going to use the same. But you look at him, do you think he will survive? That young man needs proper psychological help. He needs help from professional. He needs psychologists, professional physicians to go and examine him, and therapy. The therapist, occupational therapist, whatever you call them, the physio, not even physio, because he is physically okay, but the mental issue.
You're recommending physio as well.
That gentleman needs a mental evaluation. To be honest with you, these are the challenges that we Zambians should look at. We should not, yeah, it may sound funny, but that young man needs a mental evaluation because he is not stable. He is not stable. This is the young man that called upon all the adults in the parliament, telling them to go tell them about the pubic hair. And if you say such words in vernacular, uleba abantu abakalamba ati bonse muno tulabe amaso. That's an insult. That's an insult. And look at that young man. Look at that body that is spitting out such huge words. That's his weapon. So I am not surprised when he said those things. I was just looking. Inena chiramu mfira fyo luseti. And nde mfira lusena abantu abalevo mbanankwe. Those who are working with him. And some of the members of parliament are even believing that he is normal, and they are acting and they are working with him. That young man needs mental evaluation, psychological evaluation, because I think they should have a system where before you go into parliament, you have to be examined, like the way they used to do Kuma military, because people, you just vote, vote. Anyone can be voted in, you see? And look at the people that you're bringing in, that you voted for.
Okay,
Kanshu
Bomkelaba,
muntu
I'm going to
wakwataka
cut you.
mental illness disorder and mwemole mwana kwati umuntu alife
I'm going to
bwino
cut
mano.
you.
Kanshu muntu mulwele.
I'm going to cut you short here because we are running out of time. Let me bring in Mr. Wiseman also to also give a reaction to the two clips that we actually saw, and then we can come and conclude after that.
Okay, thank you very much, comrade. I think for me, I'll be quick on these issues. I've always hearing my president, Dr. Hakainde Hichilema, preaching about the fast track court, and I've never seen that court working in any way. I don't know where it is. Let this be an example. The fast track court does not need a bond or a bail. We already have culprits in the name of Munia Zuru, Madam Nawakwi, and Nachangara. They showed how they preached this division and tribal remarks. So please, it's my appeal to the president and to those who are in charge. Let this fast track court work now. Show us where it is located and how it is working, so that this can be an example. We don't need to see Munia Zuru out of police and start moving within the corridors of this country. No. Let this now court work. About the tribal remarks and everything else, comrade, the only thing I can request is the same. Fast track court to take those people to Kabwe Mukobeko prison. We move forward. We have got so many issues to handle as a country, and we need opposition who are coming with ideas, not with tribal talks, dividing the people and saying a lot of things. No, I think for me that one share a lot of time. Let the court do their job. Let the police do their job. Thank you, comrade.
Okay, Bomkelaba, let me give you under a minute if you can, please. Just wind up so that we can conclude the program altogether.
Thank you. What I wanted to say is that anyone that is talking of hate speech, divisive language, and other stuff should actually be put in the rightful place. We should say no to such people. I personally, I hate racists. I hate tribalists. I hate people that discriminate others just because they feel they are superior. Those are recipes of anarchy. We should never allow people of such nature. If possible, if there was a way of stripping off certain people's position, Munia Zulu is one of the first person who should be stripped of his membership or the parliamentarianship. If at all there was a way. Unfortunately, it has to go back to the voters. So we cannot allow such people to portray, to be called honorable when they are in the forefront, perpetrating or precipitating hate and division in a country of unity. There has been a lot of division in this country, and this government is trying to bring back the unity, the one Zambia, one nation. Our chiefs, paramount chief Mwine Luvemba and our king
of Lozi, they are working so hard, and other chiefs, they are working so hard to bring Zambian together. And here comes these chaps in the name of politicians, delinquent politicians, coming up and start dividing the nation, wanting to divide the nation. Who are they? So with such individuals, we need to pick them up and put them in the rightful place where they are supposed to be observed, because leaving them, because they have a constituency of people that are following them. Imagine what those other constituencies that will do to the other people because they have gotten their advice. They are a danger to society. And when someone is a murderer, where do we take them? We take murderers into prison, keep them out of. So what's the difference between a murderer and a racist or a tribalist? These chaps are as equal as the terrorists. So we need to take them, put them in the rightful place. And prison, yes, could be the rightful place for now, but these chaps need to be taken for evaluation. They have issues. That was very sad. And when it comes to our brother who is unwell, who was recovered, who was found, you see what happened when you are involved in politics or dirty politics. This should also be a leading example, because you are not safe out there. When you're a politician, you need to be very mindful what you say, when to say, and how to treat people, when to treat them. You need to be very conscious. And when you're a parliamentarian, move with security. You need bodyguards. That's why you have more allowances than any other. Instead of marrying many women, get bodyguards. And when you know you have a weak mouth, you have committed so many, you have injured so many people, get yourself bodyguards. Don't move at awkward times. Don't think you are safe. It's people like Chirufya Tayali, people like Munia Zulu, people like recover. These chaps have been saying things that were hurting other people. And those people don't think they're just happy to see you being called honorable when you've done trash things to them. So be careful and be mindful. Use security. Get bodyguards. Use your money for bodyguards or security. Secure yourself.
Unfortunately, we are out of time, and this is where we conclude.
Anyway, it was not our fault that the time got chewed, because we were off air for almost 30 minutes.
Yeah. We want to thank everybody who is watching this broadcast, and thank you so much for supporting Ubuntu channel and this Let's Talk Politics program. Be sure that we'll be back next week to discuss more of politics on this very platform. On behalf of Mr. Wiseman, Mr. Mkelabai, and the man behind the controls, that is CJ, we say good night and thank you so much.